Today we're talking a little bit about something that is not ideal by any means for Caitlin Clark for the All-Star game. The Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark is probably going to need a hardship player for the All-Star game.
So lads, today we're diving deep into a situation that's far from ideal for Caitlin Clark heading into the WNBA All-Star game. The Indiana Fever's phenom, the woman whose name alone packs arenas, could be facing a serious shift in plans. A'ja Wilson, her would-be All-Star teammate and MVP powerhouse, might not be suiting up. The reason?
A'ja Wilson, man, she looked like she might not actually make it to the All-Star game, man. Have that hurt, injured wrist, and I see it in the cast, man, right over here in the corner. If y'all can see that, I know it's a tad.
A sprained wrist. It's one of those gut-wrenching setbacks that changes the entire landscape. And for Team Clark, it shifts the burden squarely onto Caitlin's shoulders. But let's not forget, this is exactly where Clark thrives. Pressure doesn't break her, it forges her. She doesn't flinch, doesn't retreat. She recalibrates, adapts, and rises. When adversity knocks, she doesn't just open the door, she yanks it wide and says, "Watch this." The All-Star game was supposed to be the moment fans saw Clark and Wilson share the court, not just as opponents, but as teammates. It was a dream pairing, the leading scorer and the defensive juggernaut, the finesse and the force. Together, they were supposed to dominate, to light up the scoreboard, to cement a legacy. Now, it's uncertain if that moment will ever materialize.
Satu. Either way, A'ja Wilson is currently injured. Yes, A'ja Wilson is currently injured, which is not good, and it does not seem great. They say she has a sprained wrist.
The buzz around their partnership was electric. Fans had been anticipating this since the start of the season, speculating on how their styles would mesh, how defenders would handle their combination of skill and intensity. But now, with Wilson possibly sidelined, the spotlight that was to be shared falls solely on Caitlin. And if you know Clark, you know she won't shy away. She'll embrace it. Wilson's injury happened during a hard-fought game against the New York Liberty. She drove to the basket, took contact from Betnijah Laney, and landed awkwardly on her right wrist. Immediately, you could see the pain etched on her face. The Aces bench erupted in concern, medical staff rushed in, and the entire arena fell silent. Wilson tried to tough it out, made her free throws like the champion she is, but had to exit a few plays later. Post-game, the update wasn't promising.
With no timetable to return, and that means she's probably out for the All-Star game. That means she's probably out. So it's the rookies. It's the rookies. Like, it is Caitlin Clark and the rookies.
She was spotted wearing a wrist cast, and later scans confirmed a grade 1 sprain. No fracture, thank goodness, but still, a sprain that sidelines most players for 1 to 3 weeks. And with the All-Star game just days away, the math isn't looking great. Team Clark now faces a reality where their MVP cornerstone might not be available. That changes the strategy, the chemistry, the whole feel of the event. And while Caitlin's used to shouldering the weight of expectation, even she would admit that losing A'ja Wilson is a monumental blow. Remember, Wilson isn't just an elite player. She's the engine of any team she's on. Averaging over 20 points, nearly 9 rebounds, and more than 2 blocks a game, she's a two-way nightmare. She alters shots, controls the glass, and scores at will.
All right, so yeah, I ended up seeing this yesterday where she actually had this cast on her wrist. And I remember Angel Reese wearing this as well, and she was out for a good minute after hurting her wrist. So I don't think A'ja Wilson.
Without her, there's a massive void. And yet, Caitlin Clark is no stranger to the unexpected. She's been doubted, challenged, and targeted since her college days. Each time, she's answered back with record-breaking performances, buzzer beaters, and leadership that sets her apart. That's what makes her special. Not just the deep threes or flashy passes, but her ability to adapt under fire. The resilience, the fire, the mindset. Caitlin Clark is built different, and she's about to prove it again. While A'ja Wilson recovers, Caitlin is recalculating. This isn't just about filling a roster spot, it's about rebuilding a game plan. Who steps up in Wilson's absence? Does someone like Stevens come in, a player putting up solid numbers, over 14 points per game, nearly 9 rebounds, shooting efficiently inside and out?
After A'ja Wilson's fall and wrist injury the other night, I was super nervous that it was going to be something more serious. It really looked bad, especially the way she landed. I've had that fracture from a similar fall, and my wrist immediately started hurting. She did have an MRI yesterday. She posted this: "Welp, nothing wakes you up like the sound of an MRI."
Does the coaching staff adjust the offense to run more through Clark and her Fever teammate, Aaliyah Boston? That duo already has established chemistry and could anchor the team in Wilson's absence. The options are there, but none quite replace what Wilson brings. Speaking of coaching, let's not forget Caitlin Clark made history before even stepping on the All-Star court. During the draft, when asked about possible trades, Clark didn't hesitate. Most captains think about swapping players. Clark, she said, "We're trading coaches." Just like that. Cheryl Reeve, who was supposed to coach Team Clark, was sent over to Team Kalia. In her place, Clark selected Sandy Brondello, the Liberty's championship-winning coach. Clark didn't care if it broke protocol. She knew what she wanted: a coach with a winner's mindset, someone who believes in her, someone who brings championship DNA. And the league didn't stop her. That's the Caitlin Clark effect. She doesn't follow rules, she rewrites them. It was a power move, and it sent a message. She's not just a player, she's a leader, an influencer, a CEO in sneakers. Her confidence isn't cocky, it's earned. When you're the reason games sell out, when fans drop hundreds to see you shoot warm-ups, when you redefine what's possible for women's basketball, you get to call a few shots. Brondello for her pie. The All-Star game is rapidly approaching, and with Ajar Wilson's status in question, Caitlin Clark faces yet another test in a season that's already demanded her best. The date is circled, July 19th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis.
Thank you so much for the quick help and privacy. Truly appreciate it. Natasha Clyde was a real one for that. Prayers to my squad. Thank you for preventing my crash out. God has a plan that I'll never question. We're going to be all right. Which, the God has a plan I'll never question. Every time someone posts that, I get a little nervous because it makes me feel like they're saying God has a plan with...
The city is ready, the fans are excited, but the question remains, what kind of roster will Team Clark bring to the floor? Let's not pretend this is just another exhibition game. This is Clark's first WNBA All-Star appearance, a milestone moment in her professional journey, and it was supposed to be made iconic by her pairing with Wilson. Instead, the spotlight now gleams solely on her shoulders. What she does next will define more than just a weekend. It will echo through the rest of the season. But that's what Caitlin Clark has always done. She turns setbacks into opportunities. Challenges don't rattle her, they ignite her. If there's one person in the league built for this pressure cooker moment, it's her. While Wilson's wrist heals, Clark's basketball mind is already 10 steps ahead. She's thinking lineups, rotations, game tempo, and how to keep the chemistry flowing with a modified roster.
So now it's being reported that her wrist is not broken, it's just a sprain. So we'll probably see her pretty soon, after she takes some time to heal and rest. So I'm just so glad.
Luckily, she's got reinforcements. Aaliyah Boston, her Indiana Fever teammate, isn't just a familiar face. She's a defensive cornerstone who can hold down the paint in Wilson's absence. Add in sharpshooters like Sabrina Ionescu, clutch players like Kelsey Mitchell, versatile threats like Satu Sabali, and defenders like Gabby Williams, and you still have a dangerous team. One that can compete, one that can win. And let's be real, Clark has proven she can elevate those around her. Her passing vision, her floor awareness, and her ability to draw double teams opens up scoring chances for everyone else. She isn't just playing chess, she's writing the rulebook as she goes. The Caitlin Clark impact isn't just felt in ticket sales or jersey numbers. It's felt in locker rooms, in strategy sessions, in the way coaches scheme against her. She's already changed the game. Now, she gets to show she can dominate it on the league's biggest stage, even when circumstances aren't ideal. Meanwhile, the storyline of Clark versus Angel Reese continues to unravel. While media members and pundits desperately try to cling to a rivalry that barely exists, the on-court realities keep telling a different story.
It's not broken. This is such good news. She's not going to play tonight in tonight's game between the Aces and the Mystics. So, give her some time to heal up and we'll see her soon.
Reese, despite her popularity, finds herself in a reserve role. Her production's solid, but not game-changing, averaging 13.3 points and 12. 8 rebounds is commendable, but rebounds alone don't lead teams to victories. They support, they supplement, they don't define leadership. And that's where the distinction between Clark and Reese becomes crystal clear. Clark is defining this generation's style of play. She's not just reacting to the game, she's shaping it. And as the All-Star lineups were revealed, the gap became glaring. Clark, starter, captain, centerpiece. Reese, reserve, not even among the first choices. And then there's the deeper layer, the fabricated equality narrative that the media has tried to force-feed us. The idea that Clark and Reese are two sides of the same coin, equal talent, equal stature. But reality, unforgiving as it is, has torn that narrative apart. Clark is rewriting all-star rules. She's making trades live on air. She's influencing coaching decisions. Reese, on the other hand, is tweeting cryptic messages and embracing underdog status. One is controlling the narrative. The other is reacting to it. When Team Collier picked Reese, the comments were blunt. We need rebounding.
Girl, I'm curious, where are your followers at? And just in case you guys aren't aware, because Angel Reese and all her fans want to tell us all the time, you know, she's just as important with the growth of women's basketball because of all of the followers and all of the people who care about Angel Reese and want to get to know her.
That's it. Not scoring, not leadership, not elite defense, just boards. As if her primary value was mopping up missed shots. It was subtle shade, but very telling. And it only further illustrated the difference in how the league views these two players. Even with Reese's massive online following, when it came time for the fans to vote for starters, her supporters didn't show up. That silence was louder than any tweet. You can have all the followers in the world, but if they don't engage when it matters, it's just noise. And that brings us to the real issue, the truth few are willing to say out loud. Angel Reese might be a marketing phenomenon, but Caitlin Clark is the face of women's basketball. One drives conversation, the other drives transformation. Reese has certainly helped elevate visibility, and she deserves credit for that. But in terms of game impact, consistency, leadership, and performance under pressure, Clark stands alone. And if there was ever a moment for Reese's followers to show they meant more than just likes and shares, this all-star vote was it. They didn't. That's the harsh reality. And it reinforces what many have been thinking. Media narratives can only go so far. At some point, the game speaks louder, and the game, time and again, chooses Caitlin Clark. Now let's circle back to Team Clark and the coaching switch that shook the league. When Caitlin announced she wanted Sandy Brondello.
If Gabby Williams is off the board, who are you going with?
Okay, I feel like I'm gonna get into the post players.
Let's do it.
We need some rebounding. I'm gonna go with Me Bounds, Angel. We need some rebounding on our team.
Angel Reese off